The head of the largest tourism group in the United States believes that Israel could benefit from unprecedented number of U.S. tourists. Roger Block, president of Travel Leaders, also told IBA's Steve Leibowitz that the chaos caused by the recent volcanic ash cloud that covered much of Europe exposed the weaknesses of the travel industry.
It actually was very bad, especially for our corporate travelers. Fortunately, this isn't the season for our tourists yet, but we had hundreds and hundreds of corporate travelers stuck both in Europe and in the United States trying to get to Europe. Unfortunately, the flights to and from Europe are almost sold out. The airlines have lowered capacity, so trying to rebook people, say, to Madrid or anywhere else was extremely difficult. We were putting people up in hotels around the various cities, the various hub cities, and it really just created a lot of infrastructure problems. And it's amazing how fragile our infrastructure is. You think a volcano.
So it sounds like you took care of your people, which is perhaps an argument for why people should still have travel agents, even in the day of internet. Who do you turn to?
Well, that's exactly right, and thank you for bringing that up, because while we may not have been able to solve all the problems for the people, at least we were to keep them informed. We would tell them, we were calling the airlines on a daily basis, if not hourly basis, to find out what they heard, what flights they might have open. And that was extremely difficult, trying to call some of the internet giants. So, yeah, I believe that we really do provide a service.
Turning to our part of the world, in 2008, the number of U.S. tourists visiting Israel reached record numbers, 700,000 in all. The weak U.S. dollar, the world financial crisis caused a bit of a slump.
Right.
Where do you see it going at this point?
Actually, our tourism is starting to pick up to all parts of the world, but I must caution you, it really depends on what the news shows. If terrorism hits Israel, and it doesn't matter if it's Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, Americans are noted for their lack of knowledge of geography sometimes. That is the type of thing that could hurt. As long as the news is positive, it's one of the reasons we have almost 100 of our agents here, is to learn about the country, to learn about the experience that is offered. And it's a tremendous heritage, as all of your viewers know. So we believe it could be one of the top destinations over the next several years, as long as the news remains stable.
Now, the tourism in Israel this year, we only have partial figures, but up until March, we had the most tourists in the month of March 2010, the most tourists in the history of the Israeli nation, 313,000. Based on what you've seen, and it's only been a short time, do we have the facilities to absorb these growing number in terms of our hotels and the services that are available to tourists?
I think we do, or you do. We've visited 3 or 4 hotels so far while we've been here. The facilities are world class. The service was exceptional. The food is outstanding. Obviously, your roads are, especially the road where they're putting in the light rail, is torn up. But if you look at the overall infrastructures, you are prepared to handle probably another 35%. Now, obviously, Jerusalem in the old city is narrow, but that's why people come, is to see what is historic.
I actually heard that a few of your agents got lost in the old city at midnight on Friday night, but we got them out safely.
Let's not talk about that.
One last thing I'd like to ask you, just your sense, if we have peace or relative quiet in our region, how high can the numbers from the U.S. go?
Oh, the United States is one of the most religious countries in the world. We have 300 million people. And this is the birthplace of all the major religions. So how high is high? Who knows?
Sky's the limit.
Sky is absolutely the limit.